Forgot there's no song, but welcome back to the Road to Unbound. We're still walking down it. Got about another month until we're actually there, 5 weeks-ish, I believe. I'm joined by two of the greatest humans the universe has ever known. Chris Carolyn, no jokes, no puns about his name today, and Casey Hawkins. George and Kyle are off. So we'll take it from here. How are y'all doing today?
Poorly timed with the no jokes because I was doing a podcast recording, I think like earlier this week, and they were highlighting how ribbable my name is in terms of expecting as I was younger. Certainly, people were saying things like Chris Carolyn or Christmas Carolyn, and I was like, you know what? There's a guy that I do content with right now that does that. So it's all good, man.
Is ribbable an actual word, by the way? You just glazed over that.
Yeah. It got the job done, I think.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a good name. I mean, it's a strong name. I'm Rob Jones, another strong name, especially for a news correspondent. Maybe I should lean back into the jokes for the name. We'll do that on the next episode of Road to Unbound.
Especially for a bus driver, I think Rob Jones is good. Or you're the tour guide, actually. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm driving the bus. Casey, how's it going?
I feel like I just took a ride around that.
Not gonna lie, he threw me off. The song not happening, and then the ribbable as an actual word, and then figuring out that I'm not alone in adding Moss as his middle name and adding it in. Completely thrown off. But you know where we're not off is our GPS nav directly to Boston here in about 5 weeks, which is what we're going to talk about today.
Can't wait.
He needs the media sounders built in to where you can like add applause and stuff live real time. That'd be a nice touch.
I know. I've got to unlock that George level.
Yeah.
Right. We miss him whenever he's gone. He's gallivanting around the country this week, though, doing some speaking himself over in Colorado, which is why he's not here. He'll be here with us tomorrow morning as we start opening up some Unbound office hours.
Correct.
At 8 a.m. Eastern, mainly for our, all three of us are Unbound insiders.
Mm-hmm.
And we know there's some other Unbound insiders that want to get the word out, maybe get some practice in for how you might create some content. So every Thursday between now and Unbound, we will be opening the mic, opening the camera for anybody from our Unbound insiders group, which is like 80 plus, to just come and share your story.
Yeah, and we'll have some people, I think, tapping in on Wednesdays too. So 2 opportunities to join us.
And you should join. The most important part of that sentence, another one that was, I thought the most important part of that sentence is practice for content, aka practice for talking to people live instead of being behind the scenes. It always feels very weird to me to get back in front of people at an event and feel socially completely exhausted, an hour in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been the case for the last 2 or 3 years where I realized, holy crap, I actually don't socialize very much at all comparatively. So even if it's just showing up and starting to rewire your social battery for the happy slog, is slog an inappropriate term? It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot to take on if you're not used to talking and being in front of people for 72 hours straight. So come do that. We would love to have you. It's virtually in person is what I'm calling it.
And if this recording so far hasn't shown you how practice can help you,
Great point. I suck at talking, and this is also practice. I've gotten it every week for the past year or more, and I just forget how to navigate conversations, how to listen, how to speak. Still need practice. So even the best people probably need practice. If not, you're going to look even worse than I look right now when you're in front of real people in Boston here in about 5 weeks.
You could use words good like us.
Like ribbable. Yeah, you can use the word ribbable. You'll learn some new vocabulary stuff if you do join the call.
And you know what? This episode is a good example of how easy it is, because HubSpot makes it so easy to just, hey, they said something today, or in this case, yesterday, we all got this email. Maybe we can just talk about what they already did, because that's actually our job as Unbound insiders. So this week, we're gonna, we took this email, finally starting to see the alliteration, if that's a thing, Unbound experience unpacked in your email inbox this week. So we're going to dive in to that. Everybody got that email. And if you want to join us, go to be a guest on the Road To Unbound.com site and apply for a seat.
It's on the navigation now, right?
Yes, it is.
Get
a seat right here. Maybe by Unbound, we will also have figured out this bus analogy consistently as well. What should we expect at Unbound, Rob? How do we know where to go?
Great question, Chris. Read the email. That's number one. So I would dive into the email. It kind of highlights all of that. Before the show, I was talking rather cynically about how this isn't much new, and there was a main stage, and there was the HubSpot heroes, and there was all of that. And both of you very eloquently reminded me, no crap, Sherlock. I know we're live, so I'm censoring myself. You've been there. You're the mayor. Of course, this isn't news to you. You're also very plugged in, and you do a show every week exploring that. This probably doesn't feel like new information to you because you're rather plugged in and in the know. But to new people who may be going for the first time, or maybe revisiting this idea, or maybe don't have a weekly show, describing the road to Unbound, this can feel new. And so you should take a look at the dates. I think the terminology and the shift just from inbound to unbound, reading through that is cool. With a fresh set of eyes, I appreciated them spelling out kind of what the differences were. But I also, if you've been to inbound every year until now and you're going to unbound, I think there's power in continuity. So yes, the change, yes, the difference and the different, theology almost, but there's a lot of familiar stuff here. First and foremost, coming back to Boston. Mm-hmm. So I would encourage you to kind of pick through the old and familiar and the stuff that everybody, I think, likes and maybe preferred over San Francisco, for being honest, and also be excited about some of the new changes and accents that they're bringing to the event.
Not just the Boston accents.
Not just the Boston, yeah.
Man, you guys are on fire today. What does it mean to be boundless, though? I don't know if that we've ever gone through this. I like to read I tried to put HubSpot and Unbound together there. It didn't work out. I like to read HubSpot's own words in cases like this, just so we don't help the folks get it mixed up any more than it can happen. What does it mean to be boundless? As we enter the first year of Unbound, we built the foundation of the event around one simple question. What does it mean to be boundless? More than a new name, Unbound represents a mindset built to help you think bigger, build stronger relationships, discover powerful tools, spark new ideas, and create lasting impact. Now you know what Unbound means.
There you go. That was a quick show this week, but we got through the meat of it. And thank you, Chris, for the record time.
How's everyone feeling with the Unbound name change now that some of the reasoning behind it has been consumed. I mean, I think about the loop marketing, which I think we were all kind of like met on. And then I months later am like, no, I get it. And I use the human in the loop a lot. I feel similarly about the Unbound name, where my initial reaction was like, they changed the letter, and now I have to retrain my brain to say something else. Like, this is annoying. But after reading some more about this like boundlessness, I think I'm more open to it. I don't know.
Boundlessness is I can barely talk as is. Boundlessness is going to take me some practice attempts to get used to. I almost think it's more helpful, and I'm sure Chris has done this in some regard, especially after his rant from last year, to view Unbound almost in two categories: as the new mindset framework, like boundless, right? Like view it in that lens, and then view it from the event itself through the loop marketing construct, right? You're nodding. Generally, when Chris nods, I talk too long. Go ahead, Chris. I think I teed you up pretty well there.
Yeah. I liked it when they did it last year, even though everybody was yearning for more instruction and more guidance. But like, we have to think differently, like get out of the comfort zone. So when HubSpot and like, if you need more signal, like you can't have more signal than HubSpot, the industry leader of marketing, saying we're changing like a 20-year-old brand like this year, right? And if they decide to do that, like they've got some smart folks over there, they've done some research, and like they, just as bad as the rest of us, you've got to start thinking and behaving differently in a world where AI exists. And I think they started this march last year with loop marketing. Now it's with Unbound. So it's like embracing the fact that it creates some uncertainty. It might create some confusion, but also like if you show up expecting, inbound only talks, marketing only talks, aren't ready for all of the AI conversation. And, last year there was a lot of new like stakeholders and, participant types, right? So a flood of new folks coming in, and let's welcome them. So that's why I like to define it too at the same time, but just know that you got to break free from what you know and are comfortable with this year.
Yeah, I mean, Inbound obviously has marketing baggage, and like the term inbound just has marketing baggage to it. So I do see the reason for trying to differentiate from that, because it isn't just a marketing conference by any stretch of the imagination.
There you go.
So locking it in with this word that is associated to marketing puts it in a box for many people who haven't been there or don't know.
And thankfully they held on long enough to withstand the pressure to include outbound in some way. And we found a different path because nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted to see that.
I mean, I think that's where I wanted to go with that. Casey was like, hasn't been, but it is definitely not a marketing automation platform anymore. This is one of Chris's biggest complaints I've ever heard. He has many. They're quite numerable, the amount of complaints, and a lot of them rightfully so. But like, it is not that. So the agentic platform, like all of that, it almost would have been odd had they continued to call it Inbound and continued it as a giant MarTech conference, right? So I think AI kind of facilitated and created necessity for the shift, both in the conference, like who's it? Dharmesh, HubSpot leadership has been pretty explicit on where they're headed. So it was for marketing platform to CRM. Like that's around the time I came into the ecosystem, into this, SaaS sphere. And so to me, that's the biggest part of it is like, even last year, most of the people at the booth I was at were in marketing. Nothing wrong with that. Huge need for that. But the book about loop marketing, the playbook announced, all of that, the agentic platform thing, it would have been odd to me had they had continued calling it Inbound because of how closely that's associated with inbound marketing, right? So I think that's, and a graphic. Thanks, Chris, for rescuing me.
Yeah. I mean, and like to your earlier point, like I didn't know this middle section here, I didn't know this stuff existed, but it continues like this path that we're on. Like if you're looking for a more interactive environment, step inside Unplugged Studio. You'll trade presentations for participation at these facilitator-led sessions where small groups will work through guided exercises and discussions without phones or laptops. Whether you're joining Thinking About Thinking, where you'll identify the habits driving your decisions, or the Judgment Zone, where you'll separate strategic thinking from knee-jerk reactions, or the Game Plan, where you'll learn how to keep moving when plans change. You'll get the challenge assumptions, partner with fellow attendees, and approach familiar problems from a completely different angle. Like this is exactly what every single human in the ecosystem needs. One of these three, probably all three.
I like the Judgment Zone. That wouldn't work well at Planet Fitness, but all of that. Thinking About Thinking also stood out. Love doing that. That's most of what I do now anyway, so I feel like I'll fit right in there. But yeah, Unplugged Studio, very on theme for the conference.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see something a little more interactive. I know I learn better in interactive settings. I didn't spend, last year was the first time I went to Inbound. I went to maybe 2.5 sessions. And it was George, Kyle, and then I think I went to like half of one of the product manager ones or something like that. And part of it is like, I do need a little bit more of an interactive experience, and I was getting more value from like connecting with people than I was in, locking myself in these like session rooms for blocks of time.
Lots of opportunities here. And I'm just kind of like getting opportunities. Like, so she's like a lifer, I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen any of her talks, but she's always like doing more than one talk. And like creating these moments where it actually is like a more intimate setting with folks like Nancy, like the kind of value that you could get there, that would just cover your whole like unbound experience. So we've got all these options, and like kudos to the speakers for stepping up in this way. And like, because you got to show up, a lot. You commit to a lot, like more than just one speaking session. And so much opportunity to just build.
And for the speakers, like I don't know, it seems harder than like a single speech where not only in the time commitment, but just like your speech, you prep it, you go out, you do it, you might get some questions at the end, but that's, about the topic that you're presenting. When you get these more interactive or like one-to-one, people are going to ask anything.
Yeah, it requires more prep and preparation, but it's also like the irony of going only or having only sessions at a conference like this that is tech, centralized on tech is weird, because you could view those after, or you could view those remotely, or you could watch that anywhere else. Like the thing you're going to the event for, not that it's not any of that expertise and different sessions, but it's the thing that you stay after for, right? The thing that creates the line, which is, I want to talk to Nancy Harhut after this because I had some specific questions. I want to talk to Jay after that. I want to talk to George B. Thomas after the fact. So you're blending the presentation and structure and schema of a session or a presentation or whatever with audience participation. That is something that you categorically don't get with a remote or virtual webinar. Some do. I say that some do a pretty decent job, but it is nothing like being able to ask real-time questions and have them responded to. I think that's a necessary shift, and I think those will stay pretty booked out.
Yeah, it's so satisfying to see HubSpot make these kinds of changes. There's dramatic change, like to just have live workshopping and building everywhere versus the like basically sales pitches that happen in sessions that people pay for the pleasure of doing often. And it's a dramatic shift in the way that you have to organize and manage the event to like manage this turnover between all of these in-person sessions. It's not as easy as just preparing slide decks ahead of time and sharing the resources. So it's great because like been saying for a while, the only way to learn AI in this world that we live in and get comfortable with being uncomfortable is to actually experience it, build with it, talk to people about it as you're doing it. So that's really, really satisfying to see.
I would argue it's a lot less safe too. So you have to pick the right people to facilitate those sessions. Just from the looks of it that you pointed out, you've got some lifers, you've got some people that know what the hell they're talking about, and hopefully people that are open to facilitating like arguments. Like that is still a data point and a learning. I have referenced this before, but I went to a pavilion event one time, and through a very Rob-centric list of shortcomings and me being late and didn't know where the hell I was, I ended up in this session that turned out to be really good. But I sat next to Chris Walker, kind of on accident. And in my head, I don't know if the audience knows who that is, but I was like, what are you doing here? Like, why would you not be, leading the discussion? And part of it, he kind of laughed, but part of it was like, he needs to know what people that are in charge and what are, that are the teachers are saying. And I don't think the session was very hands-on, very participation focused. There wasn't one specific outcome or like, oh, I'm glad that everybody agrees on this now. But that in and of itself was a finding where you can have hard conversations. You can agree to disagree. You can tell your experience and have a lot of real-time data to discuss. And I mentioned this, Chris, I shared this clip the other day, like just the affirmation of, oh, you too are still learning. You too aren't sure exactly what the playbook is. The whole contention of the Loop Marketing book by Kip Bodnar, which I feel like is #1 book on some list now, is that marketing didn't break, the playbook did, right? So if that is also the case with AI and the agentic platform, then the construct of we're going to have a bunch of sessions, you're going to sit there, you're going to listen, and we're right, and there you go. You can get an autograph after. That also needs to change and facilitate more hands-on participation. Please like not sharing and not speaking up, almost not becoming an option. I think that's going to do wonders for the people that are in those sessions.
Yeah. And it like matches the rest of the experience. in terms of just kind of letting serendipity play the role it needs to play. As George likes to say, inbound happens in the hallways. And I know when we talked about this earlier, we had some concerns about how, like, not concerns, but we were just noting, like, oh, the exchanges, like, is a new way that they're handling it. And you've got the sync, the sector, and the spot. But looks like Brain Date, will be back. Another way to get the in-person hands-on with 1 or 2, 3 other people. Like, I think one of the best ways to grow inside of this ecosystem is just to hear what other people talk about alongside the word HubSpot. Like, it's almost never what you expect it to be, whether it is like from a personal growth perspective or whether it's like they're the same role you are and in their business they use HubSpot completely differently and have to worry about different things. And that teaches us, that's certainly how I got my HubSpot chops before I started doing content. So there's often got HubSpot user groups, partner hub, and the lawn on D. Everybody missed the lawn on D last year.
I love the lawn on D. I did karaoke there once. It was awesome. Yeah, Chris, you're referring to something that is archaically known. Maybe people have forgotten about it, but it's called social listening. You can do that in person. It's also called listening, where you have another foreign term. You have what's called I believe, a conversation with another human being and figure out what they're thinking. Right? The whole loop marketing playbook starts with express, and a part of that is hearing what other people have to say, what they think, so that you can form an opinion. Right? Like that is the first, although it's cyclical, right? That is the first in the loop marketing playbook. So love that the concept of a brain date, concept of a third party brain date, almost like voyeurism of just being around and hearing what other people are talking about and where the collective pain of the zeitgeist is. I think all of that is invaluable, and it's not something you can get as well or as quickly virtually.
Yeah, I think one thing that is really cool about this is true of any conference or any in-person event. But there's a piece of you when you're in person that you have to be a little more locked in because you're in front of this person. And while Unbound is not unique in offering that, every conference offers that. That's why we came back to conferences, is people need that kind of in-person locked in. I mean, I've attended virtual conferences and at best I have it on while I'm doing other work. And so, but you can't do that when you're in person. I mean, you
can, but you shouldn't.
You can, but like it's easier to do that when it's virtual, I guess. There's just a little bit more friction to do that when you're in person, and there's more of a commitment to be in person. Like, I came all the way to Boston, and then I'm just gonna do the same work that I could do from my basement in Maryland. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what this is called, but I'm sure it's something. If I respond to Chris's LinkedIn post, or the dynamic asynchronously provides no dopamine, no clarity, no answers. It can be counterfeit to an extent, right? And that the weird thing is, like, if you say something into the void of social media and nobody responds, that's like par for the course. But if I ask both of you a question right now, and you don't respond, I assume number one, there's got to be some technical difficulty or issue. Number two, Chris is on his BS again and just ignoring me. Or three, like there has to be some other explanation. You cannot ask somebody a question or have a conversation asynchronously in person. And like the benefits for that psychologically, the benefits for real time, like asking somebody something and them responding. Marcus Sheridan built a whole career off of that, right? You cannot do that as well with I would say like the immediate gratification as you can in person. And a lot of people, I guess I should say, aren't doing that, right? Especially as like the profile or the celeb or influencer status or up the C-suite increases, they just don't have time. But time is made and space is made for that to happen in person. So take advantage of it, right? Like if Marcus Sheridan was writing the book now, it'd be like they ask or you ask, they might answer eventually in a comment thread, right? Like that's not how it's intended to be. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. And I love just digging into more of the strategy of like those workshops that we just talked about. Like that's going to facilitate the kind of conversational experience that everybody, everybody needs to have, like when you're going to show up in person and get value. I think, less opportunity to just, and I only know because I did it. Like in 2023, I went to as many sessions as I could go, and I didn't make time for any humans, which happened to work well for my social anxiety that doesn't like going up to random humans that aren't expecting me. Maybe that was the whole strategy behind Let's Build, so I could show up and not have to be, an unknown quantity. So just getting in this conversational mode and just this like action or active mode, I'm seeing that here with the academy too. Again, learn by doing, and shout out to Taylor Smith and the rest of the team. I got to do some academy boot camping stuff last month. Excited to see what they have in store at Unbound. Step inside HubSpot House, where you'll discover the latest product innovations, AI-powered solutions, live demos, and opportunities to get to know the teams building HubSpot. I just had to stop right there, Rob. Like, not to learn about the HubSpot product, to get to know the teams building HubSpot. And it's like, and we're like, duh. That's what we like, talking to product managers. We talk to probably more than they want us to. But that's such a different point of view when you're like, oh, that's where all the HubSpot product demos are. Oh, okay, I'm not going to go there, like, and get pitched to. It's like, no, go get to know the humans that are building HubSpot. I love that.
That's not new. I mean, that it feels weird that's. I feel like I've said this recently too, so I apologize in advance. But Mike Greenberg says like goes without saying is something that died and shouldn't have. Right? It goes without saying that you should care, or that the people building something should matter. It should go without saying. It doesn't go without saying anymore, so I'm saying it. The people do matter that are building it. If you have been, I don't know how anybody on planet Earth right now wouldn't know what Banana Ball is. So maybe I'm wrong there, but either one of, do y'all both know what Banana Ball is? Chris is not. Okay.
Yes.
Isn't that made better by understanding Jesse Cole and his story and the intent of Fan First and all of that? Like you can watch, whether you like baseball or not, I assume that helps. You can watch it and be like, that's different. Maybe it's for me or maybe it's not. And then you see the dude wearing the yellow suit and the top hat, and we're not selling out to PE and we're not like, this is all Fans First. Does that not make you like the product, which is the game and the entertainment, more? Right? It's this, to me, it's the same concept here, where you can be complaining, why didn't y'all add this? What are you doing with it? Where is this going? But you can talk to the product management team and talk to them and realize their intent and how they think through things and be like, huh, yeah, okay, well, I will be patient. I understand what the intent is. and this has been on public display more so because of how the HubSpot team collectively, but especially the executive team, operates with feedback and being available and in public, is we have to build fast. We have to make some mistakes. It's part of it. But our intent is to create something that still continues to solve for customers. So I all of that to say, here's the TLDR, is I love that. I don't know why it wasn't around before, or at least wasn't called that and positioned the same way.
Yeah. And if you need any help understanding how to listen in a conversation, like just go hang out over there. The product team. When I was watching more closely than normal last year, I was like still surprised at how much they can take, like in a conversation. At feedback just coming from every direction when there's like 15,000 people rocking around. It's got to be some kind of exhausting. But they're there and they do it.
There's also apparently a Power Up juice bar. I'll be checking that out.
Yeah.
Can guarantee you'll find me with a juice.
Yeah, I think is that the place where they also had the oxygen last year?
I didn't do the oxygen. I don't know. I wish I had. I don't know why I didn't.
What, are you not a fan of oxygen? What's going on?
To be honest, I think I didn't see it, or like I don't think I saw it by the time before it was like over.
Yeah, it was always like full. Like it was always like completely full. Maybe that's this recovery station. And the HubSpot Academy's skills gym, I think, is a new way that they're painting this, where Academy professors and community experts will offer live coaching. Community experts, you say?
I have the exact same. I have an email drafted to Taylor right now.
Micro learning stations, certification guidance, and personalized support between sessions. You can recharge at the Power Up Juice Bar or Recovery Station before diving back into your next learning experience.
Yep. Collect all the badges, and then you can challenge the Elite Four on towards the end of the conference. They don't do Pokemon theme there. That's a misstep, but love the idea. Also, if you've never been to an oxygen bar or experienced that, it's something you should wait in a line for. 100%. It's crazy.
We'll see.
Man, there's more. Enter the plasticity lab, where you'll explore.
Speaking of new vocab words.
Where you'll explore how creativity and neuroscience intersect by crafting tactile takeaways around different modes of creative thinking. Do you guys know about this?
I do now.
Tactile takeaways. Like,
wait, Rob, did you
remember
say
when
you knew everything on
No, I know now. I didn't know anything, but I know now. I'm going to be hanging out at the plasticity bar. I mean, whatever it is. I'm going to be hanging out there.
I remember when like crafts and party planners was a bad thing? Not anymore. This is awesome. I can only imagine it's like a craft station of some sort. Very cool. Got the impact stage. You'll also find HubSpot Media Rewind, where you'll see how great stories transcend every medium. Wonder if that's the new name of the media network booth that we got to hang out at last year. Of course, HubSpot Meeting Hub. You can still schedule those one-on-one conversations with the HubSpot teams. What are we looking forward to? Narrow it down. What's your one thing?
Casey, you go first.
It's the Power Up juice bar.
How dare you? First of all, one thing really. I mean, thematically, just the way they're structuring I forgot what these are called already. Chris, help me out. But the sessions that it's not brain day, whatever Nancy Harhut
Oh
is
yeah,
leading.
no, that's a better
Thinking
one.
about thinking, all those sessions. I think that'll be
Unplugged Studio.
Unplugged Studio. There we go.
Man, and like since you brought up Chris Walker, like Unplugged Studio.
One of the most popular things MTV ever did. So love that. It's a bit of nostalgia and music. It's great.
That was a recency bias on my end. Juice Bar was top of mind.
It's not. It wasn't. No, that's
No, you're
definitely
gonna
number
be
one for Casey, and that's okay.
100%
Casey
living
can do
at the Juice
Casey.
Bar.
Yeah.
Every time you guys see me, you're gonna be like, Casey, are you drinking water or just juice?
Just juice.
Yeah, and I'm just happy that I know what the calendar block that was sent my way is now for, related to the Academy Skills Gym. So until next time, Rob, you got to sign off for us today.
Yeah, welcome back. Wait, no, sign off. Sorry. Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow. Let me make sure of the calendar. Yeah, we are doing a special earlier Road to Unbound. If you're listening to this right now and you're an insider, an unsider, an outsider, if you're anywhere closely related to this and can hear the sound of my voice, please join. We'd love to have guests. We've had a pretty good guest so far. Shout out to Jay for joining. But facilitating participation, there you go, Hallie.io. Thank you. Feel free to send an ambassador to come join us tomorrow morning. That's part of it. Prepping for the thinking about thinking, the unplugged. I mean, if you want to think of it like that, this is the Road to Unbound Unplugged. We want people to join. We want to have conversations. We want to talk. You can talk just to Chris if you want to and not have to acknowledge me at all, or just to Casey, but I'll be here as well. But yeah, join us tomorrow early for a special edition. And other than that, the Road to Unbound. Absolutely. Yes.
Of course.
Mr. Howley.
Yes.
Mrs. Howley. I don't know.
Do.
Howley. Yes. Come join us.
The road to unbound.com.
Yep.
And then
I think one of our future guests may be possessed by an owl. Who?
Yeah. / be a guest. Click on get a seat at roadtounbound.com.
Get a seat on the navigation. The URL string is not ideal.
Everything's great on the Road to Unbound.
And we'll see you next time. And then we'll see you in Boston in about 4 weeks. Adios.